Mom, Brian's sitting in his car again. So I'm about to take another 3-hour drive in the rain, one way. And why? Because I'm going to go see a movie. I'll tell you more about it when I get there, but for right now, let's do a really cool montage of all of the driving that I'm going to be doing in the next 3 hours. Wait. So that's how it is, huh? You're just going to ditch me like that? That's how we're going to do it, huh? That's how it is? Okay, fine, I get it. It was a long drive, and if I could travel by cheesy video transition, I would have too. But unfortunately, I can't, so I had to grind out these miles one at a time. But why did I take this long trip once again to Columbus? What was so important that I had to hit the road even in a rainstorm to drive 2.5 hours to get here? Well, I live in West Virginia, and of all the things that West Virginia doesn't have, one of them happens to be an IMAX theater. And well, I just thought that a big IMAX screen and 3D was the way that I wanted to experience Black Panther Wakanda Forever for the first time. And yeah, I get that it's a long drive both ways just to watch a movie. And I could have watched it at a theater at home, and even though it would have been on a smaller screen, I still would have gotten to see the movie, and I would have gotten home earlier. And yeah, if I'm going to watch this movie on a big IMAX screen in 3D, that's definitely going to spoil watching it anywhere else. But spoiling myself is today's theme. Now, you may remember from my Vlogtober vlogs that I did one of the vlogs on my 20s. And in those days, I was young, dumb, and full of poverty. In those days, I didn't have money to really spoil myself on anything. Food was a luxury in those days. And so the thought of taking a big, long road trip to watch a movie wasn't even in the cards for me. Seeing a movie at home wasn't in the cards for me. And it happens to people sometimes, and it certainly happened to me that I started to blame myself for my poverty. The reason why I didn't have money and couldn't do things and could barely afford to live was it was a character flaw on my part. And the poverty was just a representation and proof of that character flaw that I had. But what's weird is that sometimes when, as time goes on, our situations improve and we do get a little bit more money and we have the ability to spoil ourselves a little bit, we don't tend to do it because we feel that we're still that horrible person inside. And even though we have the money to treat ourselves on occasion, we just don't do it because we don't deserve it. And so since we're still the terrible person inside, we need to live the poverty that we actually deserve. So yeah, for the longest time, I always felt a little bit guilty when I was treating myself to something, and so I didn't do it very often. But today I'm going to do just that. I'm going to, in a few moments, walk into the AMC IMAX theater. I'm going to take my seat, put on my 3D glasses, and enjoy me some Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
3 hours later.
You see, movies like that are why you go to see movies in IMAX. Man, I got a lot to say about this movie, but we still got a long drive ahead of us, so... Oh, yeah, that's right. No, it's okay. Go ahead. So I have made it back home, even though I had to take the long way around, but I did manage to listen to a really interesting audiobook on the trip, which I tend to do when I make those trips to Columbus, so that was a plus. It's been a long day, and I'm pretty tired and ready for bed, but before I go, I just wanted to say that I don't know how it is with you, but I know in my situation, it can be really difficult for me sometimes to accept gifts or compliments, or even to treat myself well. In fact, sometimes I treat myself in ways that I would never think to treat another person. For me, sometimes I have to take a moment just to pause and to remind myself that I need to treat myself every once in a while. I need to spoil myself. And if that means taking a long road trip so that I can see a movie I've been looking forward to in a format that I feel like is the best way to see it, or even go into Target and buy a limited edition copy of Prince's Greatest Hits on vinyl, or you can do like I did and do both of those things in the same day. But we all need to take that moment to remember that we need to treat ourselves as we would treat anyone that we care about. Because regardless of what we may think about ourselves, because of something that someone who should have cared about us a lot more than he did said to us, we deserve it.